G'day friends and fans, welcome to Dave Talks Stuff. I'm your host, the author David Applegate, and today we're talking about the rise and fall of female influencers. Now, influencers is not just the Twitch streaming, but of course, Instagram, OnlyFans, talk radio, right? Predominant speakers across society. But in the streaming sphere, right, there was a shift already, right? There was a shift in talk television from Donahue to Oprah. The rise and fall of many male influencers was the shift in politics by the awful. See previous videos on the affluent white female urban liberal. But in the early 2000s, right, particularly around 2010, there was a reliable fashion beauty blogger who turned simple, everyday tips you would get on the back of a women's magazine into a multi-million-dollar business. And soon it was highly commercialized, satirized, and by the end of 2020, highly scrutinized. See, the female influencer rose in what's called the femosphere. Long before there was a manosphere, there was the femosphere, where female influencers were giving dating advice and teaching women to be gold diggers under the guise of female empowerment. Now, female empowerment, of course, is not just Pokimane, but Pokimane is one of many influences. And now we're experiencing the landscape of de-influencing and the rise of AI. Now, female content creators currently dominate the industry. 77% of monetized, that is YouTube, Twitch, and OnlyFans predominantly, although is female, right? Most of your top influencers on Instagram, female. Most of your top travel bloggers, female. Do people care about their content? No. 99% of the people who tune into content are what you would call lifestyle gawkers, right? They're looking at, Pokimane's exotic beauty. They're looking at a lot of young girls are tuning in to look at the lifestyles of the rich and famous. People do this. It has been going on for a long time, right? There were TV shows once dedicated to the lifestyles of the rich and famous. Literally one called Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. However, rise of AI has shifted from the perfect Instagram aesthetic to the more authentic niche content. You all know Pokimane is filtered, cosmetic, probably a whole lot. Now there's a whole lot of blue influencers who are into cosmetic surgery, butt lifts, face lifts, eye lifts, getting their eyelashes. They do all the same poses, they wear all the same watches, they shop in all the same shops. They're highly concentrated in Hong Kong, Shenzhen, LA, and London and Paris. There are very few outside that area, right? But okay, the rise from authentic to the commercialized. The authentic fashion, beauty, and gaming influencer were popularized and seemingly authentic alternative to commercials, right? Instead of seeing what a dress would look like on a fashion model, who still today is paid more than many of these influencers, but more and more it's a blur. They were seeing authentic people, allegedly. More and more that changed with the rise of the Instagram filter. Monetization and empires. What was once Pokimane's gaming channel turned into a multimedia celebrity influence brand. And by 2021, top influencers were earning millions of dollars, right? Sometimes paid millions in brand deals on top of their ad revenue. Dominance. Women dominated the industry, particularly soft porn, right? You have many countries around where pornography is illegal still, and soft porn, particularly in highly regulated societies, is the only male gaze outlet. So trust me when I say, right, it is most likely Pokimane is a product of the male gaze and has staged herself to be that icon of the male gaze. However, the breaking of trust and the oversaturation of content has now created influencer fatigue. Pokimane has already seen how the drama has affected her, right? Her people tuning out because she buys herself expensive gifts. Her charity works are barely minimal. Her cookie empire was nothing more than repackaging oatmeal, coloured oatmeal, I should say, and better products for cheaper. Right? She saw the writing on the wall and reduced her influence because her view count was going down. So she cut the number of streaming hours to focus on her brand, to preserve her brand in order to get more influencers under her brand. Right? Your money doesn't come from you, it comes from your brand. And your brand has to have people pushing it. Right? You really think that Adidas and Louis Vuitton and Nike and all these other brand deals, right? They last? No, they are conditional, right? And with the declining trust in Pokimane, though it may be slow, she is losing money and is in hot water over her immigration status, allegedly. Right, scandals and de-influencing, of course, go hand in hand. The lack of transparency, her support of unpopular opinions has created a backlash. This de-influencing trend where more and more people don't want to buy products because they're associated with certain influencers. Right, LA is becoming an LA bubble yet again, like it did in the 90s. Now, market saturation. Pokimane is not the only one. It's believed that 25% of media influencers overproduce content to the point where people go from wanting to see them to not wanting to see them. It's the more is less. It's like, hey, I'm married. I only see my wife for an hour a day. I see this man for 8 hours a day. So they sleep with that man and find out that, it's the grass is green on the other side syndrome, right? It's like with Pokimane, right? You discover other content creators and you just find out what an airhead she is and move on. The threat of AI, better models, smarter people, more genuine influencers, right? Particularly in gaming, you're only relevant while that game is relevant. And the more political she gets, the more she alienates her core audience, right? Because people don't know where she is anymore. Is she authentic? Is she pro-Palestine, pro-Israel? What? No, she's pro whatever makes her money. And so people don't see her any longer as authentic. But she's not the only one, okay? And she's not even the biggest troublemaker on the internet, okay? She's just the hot topic of the day. And that... So currently, the shift in demographics, younger influencers are rising, right? While individuals aged Pokimane to my age are gaining traction, right? So people older than Pokimane are doing better, mostly men, and because women, right, are less into, right, gold diggers, right? The market's saturated with gold diggers now, right? So they're all watched the same videos. They've all watched the Pokimanes. See, Pokimane may not always be seen as a beauty or a fashion or a gaming streamer or a political streamer. She's just a streamer. But people watch her to mimic her behavior because she's successful, right? She doesn't have to say, I'm a gold digger. Gold diggers will be naturally attracted to each other, right? The more if they see someone more successful than them, they mimic them, right? It's not that Pokimane is a gold digger. That is between you and her and what you believe. What I believe, right, is irrelevant. I'm giving you the psychological conditioning that women have, right? When women want to keep up with, when women want to lure in men, they find the women that attract men and mimic them. Right? So you have individuals aged 40 to 60 in many other areas of gaming and politics who are doing better. They are going away from beauty, right? Because beauty influencers are a dime a dozen, right? And most of the stuff they teach you is in a $20 magazine called Health and Beauty, and it's much better than your $50 OnlyFans subscription or sitting there for 8 hours a day trying to figure out Pokimane's beauty routine, okay? Women are getting more professional. They're pivoting to their own long-term health. They're getting off single brands. They're looking to save money. They are looking to feminist, right? They want to feminize. They don't want to be a commercial product, right? The problem is that all these, whether Pokimane does this deliberate or not is up to you. I don't watch her enough to make a judgment, but I think she's helped commercialize women by commercializing herself. And a lot of women don't want to be, right? You see this with the feminist writers who regret their lies and tell you openly they lied, right? Saying that the cost of their lies has made society a dangerous place to live, right? Pokimane, her bubble, right, her expensive LA bubble is burning money. She's losing money. She's in financial and legal trouble, though nobody knows to what extent. This is a bubble that is going to burst in LA with streamers who faked it till you made it, right? The hand of Dan Clancy, the hand of God who helped elevate these people, Twitch as a platform can't survive any longer, right? They're going to have to bleed back money off these influencers, and this is where, platform fees and other things are just going to be the end of Twitch, the rise of Kick. If you're leaner, smarter, you're getting off Twitch, right? The future is less perfect people like me. I am less perfect. I am not a sex god, except in my own lunchbox. Make of that what you will, but it's an inside joke to those who know who know. Right, Pokimane is from Canada, though she is actually of Moroccan descent. She's currently based in California, alleged to have been in America on what's called an artist visa. Now, her parents were academics. Her mother is of barber ancestry. Her parents migrated to Quebec when she was 4. She grew up in St. Catharines, went to private schools in Ontario. She learnt multiple languages, right? She's considered French Moroccan because of Quebec ancestry. She studied in a French school. She also spoke Moroccan Arabic and later learnt English. But she describes her Moroccan Arabic proficiency as a little bit, as she tries, because It does happen with multilingual people. The language you use the least becomes harder and harder to remember. Now, Emaine Ans created a name from Pokemon and... what's it again? Pokemon and... yeah. Something... yeah. Her name. Yeah, Emaine. Right. Pokemon and her name. Yeah, of course. Sorry. Just having old man syndrome day. Anyway, she gained over 450 followers after winning platinum round of League of Legends, and from there she started a professional commentary on Fortnite. Epic put her in an event and she won a battle royale, but was eventually replaced, and her need to talk about it actually got her more attention than her gaming. And her need to talk about stuff has been her shtick. Now, she was, at once upon a time, she was the 9th most followed streamer on Twitch. Now, with the decline of Twitch, she was a honorary member of the top 30 under 30, because under the category of games, though her prominence as the largest streamer, with a value of with a value unestimated at the time, although she had 8.5 million viewers, her net worth is pretty much remaining unknown, right? Her net worth is based... she poured a lot of her money into businesses under her name. She's done some paid cameos. She's won some awards. But she's more known for her controversy. And the biggest controversy is the cookie drama. Now, the cookie drama is cost her views. Right? In 2023, she launched Maina Snacks and Midnight Minis cookies. $28 for 4 bags, $7 a bag for a handful of cookies, which was highly sexualized in its advertising of her feeding herself a cookie with the tongue out, which is, and the her eyes. You don't. She is being accused of rebranding generic products, selling overpriced, pretty much overpriced sugar snacks, basically not healthy. Her criticism of those who won't pay a price as broke boys or bad at math, claiming that they were all marketed as healthy. Comparisons actually basically showed that they're actually high calorie, right? And despite this, she has chosen not to address the issues and just basically has let her stock of product run out without any... so they're listed but not available for current purchase. And been almost like that for a few months now. Although apparently people have been hearing now and again there have been cookie drops. I have no proof of either way. But as a notable influencer, the term gold digger has been thrown around, that she's been alleged to have been vine-swinging, influential athletes and getting endorsements through her style, right? Now, there is no accusation currently against her for sexual misconduct to get ahead, but remember, we're talking about high-profile celebrities, a lot of these lifestyle influencers, and she's not the worst offender, right? She's not even the richest. right? It's believed that she's a wannabe Anna Bay. For those who don't know, Anna Bay was an elegant stylist and YouTuber who founded the School of Affluence. She's the one who taught Pokimane how to be a one percenter. Pokimane and many female influencers have met with or followed Anna Bay. She taught women to be attractive in a certain style and manner that would attract the 1%, to refine their lifestyle, to attract wealthy partners. She has been to China and many countries. She's got many affiliates around the world, many of them still in operation. She has been notoriously linked to the teaching women to basically hump and dump men for profit. She's no millionaire, but she is rich by modern standards. She is a cultural influence, though Pokimane may have more fame than her. It's believed that Anna Bay is financially more successful than her. Now, another one is Noor Alavar, who's been high profile for her relationships, mostly with older men, particularly rich men. She's predominantly in the media, mostly Instagram. Timila Virginia, another one who used the media and media influence to get herself a high-profile marriages, plural, and live a high lifestyle. But these women are all in decline. And other women who have gotten other notable gold diggers: Anna Nicole Smith, Peggy Hopkins Joyce, Courtney Sodden, Crystal Harris. Others who have been accused of being gold diggers, and again, influencers who, these are influencers who've been under public scrutiny as gold diggers and find themselves ostracized by society. Blank China, Heather Mills, Beast Dino, many others, right? Courtney Love has also suffered social ostracization. Her celebrity influence rose and fell with the decline in the Cobain estate, right? A lot of women, now this is not targeting Pokimane personally or specifically, but a lot of women in the influence industry do engage in what people would definitely call prostitution. This is where this is an accusation leveled against Paris Hilton, who charged for party attendances, and she's not the only one. Many Victoria's Secret models allegedly were trafficked by Island Boy and his associates to high-profile men and high-profile parties for figures between $200,000 and $2 million. Those are the rumours. There is nothing to suggest that is just, there's the, if anybody's heard of the Beijing Yacht Club, right? Obviously knows, infamous, right? Or Shenzhen Yacht Club, right? These are, or the Tokyo dining table. Those who know. And for those who don't, it's going to take a lot of explaining. But basically, these clubs are organized crime, but in a very clever term. They are nightclubs run by shady people, and they rent out they have big clubs with big rooms they rent out, and they have female influencers, streamers, particularly in the beauty field, who are well paid to come and entertain, and they get to go out on these yachts in Hong Kong, etc., and they stream, in bikinis. They show off the highlight tourist spots, And in return, allegedly, they then spend the weekend with their sponsor, right? They're basically a travel companion, particularly with Yakuza dining. These women are allegedly stripped naked, and you pick sushi off their body, and then you finish the night with calamari. Now, the fall is, of course, with many things predominantly economically linked, right? But as more men walk away from the lifestyle of mass consumerism, they are ditching the female influencer. You understand the majority of these women's audience is male, right? You understand the majority of music may be consumed by women, and you've seen the shift. Another reason why these influencers are dying is the shift, right? They're shifting to Taylor Swift, Lady Gaga, the shift, right? The cultural shift, right? Women, as they get older, right, they don't keep up with their peers. They find a new, younger, and of course, teenage girls, on the other hand, they look up to. So you have the middle-aged, and as Taylor Swift is aging out and people see her as a fake now, she's starting to get booed. She'll go the way of the dodo very quickly, and people forget who she is very soon, right? Her cultural relevance is not yet in decline. That's why she's not on this list, right? But you have the decline of Beyonce and many others, right? So many, too many to point at. Pokimane is easy. Her decline is a slow decline. It is. She's definitely seen and well known as a narcissist, a temptress, but she's not she's not pure, but she's not what I would call unclean. Okay, she's tainted goods, right? People know that it's not her. People don't know her sexual life, her private life, her beliefs. What they see on stream, they just know is not real anymore, right? Her fake room with her fake baby doll, that teen tween, over lots of pastels, lots of stuffed toys. There's no genuine feel or love anymore, right? She hasn't grown up. And people see her and they go, has she had her eyebrows done? Has she had her eyelashes done? Has she had her boobs lift? Has she had her neck tucked? People are now speculating what plastic surgery she's been through. So she's no longer a influencer of positive. She's a lolcow, right? She's fallen into the lolcow category, right? And lolcows can last for a long time with with high subscriber count but low viewer count. So the endorsements will slowly go away, whereas the Annabes of this world, they will keep finding more and more young girls to hide behind, to sell their courses on female empowerment, but they're running out. But as society gets, society can't keep paying, $9.97 for, courses on how to be an affluent woman, and they're running out of 1%ers to marry because most of them are married, so the demand for female influencers, again, is an oversupply. An estimated oversupply by 25% of female influencers, right? It's oversaturated. There are too many. It's not equality. It's not equitably distributed. Like I say with Twitch, there's the allegation Dan Clancy, the current CEO, has his thumb on the scale, and if you look at his moderation team and his head content his head content managers, they're all women, right? So, but the social, cultural impact of gold diggers is a wealth shift. So if men go their own way, that wealth shift stops. Female influences require a wealth shift. So by not supporting thoughts, you can support e-girls, electronically generated, your animes, your fictional books, right? Men, go your own way, right? I'm not telling you what content to consume. I'm just telling you the result of your consumption, right, or the lack thereof of certain content, right? If you're not funding your girlfriend's not funding a female influencer. Because she'll run out of money, right? These broke girls who, right? Rich girls don't need lifestyle influencers, right? They know how to read. They go to professionals. They do a course every year. They go to a proper beauty school, a proper beautician, right? All these YouTubers are aimed at, appear to be high-end market, but in reality, they're Maybelline, right? They're your celebrity trashed, all right? The moment the cameras are off, the celebrities are throwing their crap makeup in the trash, washing it off, and going and buying premium brands, right? Although some of them, like Rimmel, do have premium products, right? But there's over 24 makeup brands, of which half will probably close within the next 10 years. We don't know. Those are only estimates based on the shift in consumption, right? And historically, right, the first thing to go in a cultural shift from the old culture is the superficial, right? When cultures change, they change their fashion, right? And as women can't become gold diggers, when they're, there is a, being single is often equated to being in prison, right? You have clarity. You don't have distractions. So you can focus on yourself and healing and realize all the good and bad you've done. You can start to enjoy the good in your life, and you start to learn discipline. Well, women, when they're single, this can happen. I'm not saying always, right? And I'm not saying wait for a woman to mature. But more and more, people like Anna Bay and many others, right? They teach young girls to stand at the finish line. And you see this more and more. But see, the rich guys, they know this, right? They pick the few, they put them on contracts, the majority hump and dump, the take them to Qatar or some place where they can't legally gold dig them, That's why a lot of your wealthy are expats now, right? You got $1 million, you go to live somewhere like where that's why Thailand's losing popularity, because they have now gold dig, because they have gold digger laws now, right? They're called gold digger laws, right? They're just as bad as Britain, right? Right? Thai girls, most passport bros know Thailand's off limits, right? Thailand is a trap. If you know the meaning, if you know your anime, you know what I'm talking about with Thai ladyboys, right? And how they get their hands on you, and they use the law to basically screw you out of thousands of dollars, right? Thailand is losing its reputation very fast, right? Countries do it. It's not just women. Women in large cultural numbers are still gold digging. But what I'm saying is their influence is waning. More and more people know what a gold digger is. More and more people know how to avoid them. And as they constantly try to change laws to legalize their activities, where states where women can sink their teeth into you for 6 weeks, or they date you, or even consider dating for a period. So, and of course they try to constantly change laws so nobody can keep up, so they can trap as many people as they can. So more and more men, you're going to find red states, as long as they stay pretty relevantly clean, more and more what's it called? Payment, right? When you get a payment from marriage or settlement, divorce settlement or whatever, more and more states are getting rid of that, right? Saying, no, you leave what you came with, right? You enter into, if you date someone, you're entitled to nothing, right? You could cohabitate for 20 years. You're not his wife, right? You're not entitled to his property. All these things, right? All these arguments women have never been tested in courts of law. So the female gold digger is, the reason is these states realize that if you keep going the way of these pro-gold digging laws, you basically empower liberals. Right? The Republicans have got to learn, right? These gold diggers, right, is the reason why we have awfuls. If they didn't have if they couldn't steal money from men, right, and use it for their causes, they would be broke. They wouldn't have influence. Most of your influence comes either from, in the case of Pokimane, their appearance, but more and more it's shifting votes. And as Hassan Piker, Pokimane, and many other Twitch streamers can no longer shift votes, even as a group, that is death sentence for influencers, right? If you can't shift votes, if you can't ship merch, you are gone, right? You are only as good as your last receipt, right? And so, hopefully, there will be more death knells, more people saying,
right turn, Clyde.
So I wish Pokimane no ill, but I don't wish her any success. I do not like female influencers, who, not all of them are bad, of course, but I mean female influencers who definitely are greedy narcissists who have the personality photocopied from a Jung handbook or straight out of Carnegie's How to Influence People. Again, if these ideas weren't popularized, they're just basically cut and paste. They're sociopaths. They have no personality, right? They mimic. And more people realize this by now, that she's a sociopath. She does not have a genuine personality. She's confused why nobody likes her in real life. She's confused why she goes to a big store and they don't open the doors for her anymore. She has to book appointments. She doesn't realize that as her influence decreases, she's not special. She never was, right? It's like a bestseller, right? You're only as good as your last bestseller, right? You're the J.K. Rowling. She don't get the big invites anymore, right? Warner Brothers went broke, right? They fell in love with her. They made her movies, and then they went broke. And then they doubled down trying to make her series. Now, someone may bail them out and get things back on track. But yeah, the Potterheads, that's a whole other crazy. But sometimes I wish I had that crazy an audience, right? Who wouldn't want 1 million dedicated fans willing to buy anything and everything? But then again, the moment you step off the merry-go-round and say, I want to go my own way, these ludicrous rabid fans say, no, you can't. So, yeah, you don't really want 1 million fans if they are not genuine fans. So, I really appreciate each and every one of you, because at least I may not have many genuine fans, and I'm not asking you to fund my entire life, but at least, please, like, share, and subscribe. But if you do, please do. Somebody, for the love of God, will you please help out? I need to raise $2,500 for my hard drive recovery. So if you can, Ko-Fi, Patreon, buy my books, buy my merch. All my links are in the link tree, description below, in my profile, or scan the QR code on the screen. Appreciate each and every one of you. Again, hopefully you understand this is not any personal animosity. All I've presented to you is public speculation, public opinion, and my own observations that of the drama around Pokimane, which there's a lot of secrecy still, and nobody really knows her net worth or her business success or anything other than the fact that these days all there is nothing but drama, and more people want to tune out because she's not a genuine person. I'm just saying what the phenomenon is, and yeah, if she bounces back, she bounces back. I mean, it can happen. I doubt it. Right? I've suffered a setback with YouTube. So far, I haven't bounced back. But it's early days yet. Early days. But by now, hopefully I should have seen a much more dramatic rise. But yeah, again, it could just be, the oversaturation in every market. But there ain't enough mgtow voices, and there's not enough support for mgtow, right? The mainstream media is doing their best to suppress us, to ridicule us and drive men away, and they keep promoting Andrew Tate. That should tell you everything you need to know. Bye for now.